Human rights lawyer Dele Farotimi has been released from the Ado-Ekiti Custodial Center after several weeks in detention over alleged defamation. His arrest followed a petition by Afe Babalola, SAN. Although he was granted bail earlier this month by both the Federal High Court and the Magistrate Court in Ado-Ekiti, bureaucratic delays delayed his release. The Federal High Court had set a bail of 50 million naira with strict conditions, while the Magistrate Court subsequently granted him bail of 30 million naira, subject to additional restrictions, including the surrendering of his passport and a ban on media interviews. Farotimi's release was finalized following the verification of his surety's documents. His trial on charges of cybercrime and defamation is scheduled to continue in January 2025. I can also tell you that the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee has dismissed a request by Afe Babalola's law firm, Emmanuel Chambers, to revoke the practicing license of lawyer and author Dele Farotimi over allegations of criminal defamation and professional misconduct. Farotimi was summoned before the LPDC following a petition filed by Olafaro, a lawyer with Emmanuel Chambers. The petition alleged that Farotimi, in his book Nigeria and Criminal Justice System, made defamatory statements against the Supreme Court and the legal profession. However, in its report, the LPDC concluded that the alleged offenses were committed by Farotimi in his capacity as an author, not as a practicing lawyer. The LPDC ruled that it lacked jurisdiction to handle complaints relating to publications and advised aggrieved parties to seek redress in the regular courts. To help put this in perspective, we're joined by legal practitioner Valerian Wadike. Valerian, thank you for joining us. Let's establish for our viewers the powers of the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee, LPDC.
Thank you for having me. The LPDC is headed by its chairman, Justice Isaac Usman Bello. So they are saddled with the responsibility of, well, I say, checkmating the activities of legal practitioners in Nigeria. If any legal practitioner, strictly so-called, commits actions in breach of the rules of the professional conduct, such legal practitioner would be petitioned to LPDC, that is Legal Practitioner Disciplinary Committee, to, look into the matter and suspend, debar, or act in any way or manner that the LPDC so desires after hearing both sides, of course.
Okay, I want to ask, from a layman's perspective, I mean, they must have thought there was some merit in a case to take to the LPDC. They would argue that the issue at stake has to do with the law. There are allegations that his book caused defamation and pain to certain individuals in the legal profession and calls to question the credibility of the legal profession. That should give some authority to the committee.
Yeah, but you rightly quoted, the chairman, Justice Isaac Usman. He stated that the publication is an intellectual property and not a conduct or action committed while the person is a practicing lawyer or a legal practitioner. In other words, they cannot come after someone acting in his capacity as an author. So Mr. Dele Farotimi, in his capacity as an author, wrote all those things. So the chairman, Justice Isaac, said specifically, and I quote, that the publication is an intellectual property and not a conduct or action committed while practicing as a legal practitioner, and all grievances in the regular court. So what it's saying in essence is that it lacks jurisdiction to act on actions of individual acting in their individual capacity as whatever that they are. However, if the individual is acting in his capacity as a legal practitioner, then it might assume jurisdiction to now entertain
All right.
such
What would be the purpose,
petitions.
actually? Farotimi is already facing defamation allegation, and the case is up for hearing in January, though now he is on bail. What would be the purpose, in your thinking, to have him disbarred over defamation?
Well, I might not specifically be in the mind of the petitioner, but I think it might have something to do with a case Mr. Dele Farotimi quoted. I think he mentioned specifically a matter he handled between, I think, one His Royal Highness Adeyemi or so. So where he mentioned about bribery, corruption, up to the Supreme Court. So that might be from the area this petitioner might bring such action against him to the LPDC for them to, look into the matter, maybe disbar him. But LPDC is saying that they do not have that jurisdiction, meaning they don't have that power.
Okay, I think you've established
descend into
that.
The arena.
Yeah, you've established that. We're out of time for this conversation, but quickly, it is reported that Farotimi spoke briefly to the media when he was released. Would that be in violation, do you think, of some of the conditions that was given by the court? I mean, media interviews were put as one of the restrictions for bail.
Well, with all due respect to the Honorable Court, I still believe the Constitution grants everybody freedom of expression. So far, he's not committing any crime in so doing, and his defense team might know how to establish what he did, or establish the interview he granted.
All right, Valerian, thank you so much for speaking with us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, yes. Despite all, Merry Christmas.